And we're staying on top of horrible breaking news from the Texas Hill Country. Rescues underway amid flash flooding near the Guadalupe River.
Yeah, this catastrophic event has turned deadly. The death toll now at 13. Michelle Choi joining us live in the newsroom with the latest. Michelle.
Yeah, Ron and Sherman, your heart just goes out to our neighbors in the Hill Country, especially in the Kerrville community where rescues are still happening right now. The latest information into our newsroom coming from a just wrapped news conference with Kerr County officials and the acting governor, Lieutenant Dan Patrick. They confirm this will be a mass casualty event. At least 13 have been killed in the devastating flooding that hit around 4 this morning. The Guadalupe River, they say, rose 26 feet in just 45 minutes, and there are still around 20 girls unaccounted for at Camp Mystic, a popular girls' summer camp near Hunt with more than 750 children on site. And throughout the day, we've been seeing dramatic video pouring into our newsroom, capturing this catastrophic flooding unfolding in real time.
The people you hear screaming are in the river right now. Let's get everybody out.
Yeah, this chilling moment caught on a Ring doorbell camera shows officers banging on doors in Kerrville, warning families to get out, saying the screams they heard were coming from people trapped in the Guadalupe River. And look at this video. You can see just how fast the water was moving vehicles, including what looks like a camper and buildings submerged in the distance, being swallowed up by the flood. This next video from Comfort, shot on Lane Valley Road this morning, shows a massive surge of water and debris rushing down the Guadalupe, moving faster and building with intensity by the second. And that's what makes this so terrifying for families. As we mentioned, there are still at least 20 girls unaccounted for at Camp Mystic. Here's what Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick said directly to those parents.
That does not mean they've been lost. They could be in a tree. They could be out of communication. We're praying for all of those missing to be found alive. We're doing everything.
Yeah, those are hard words to hear, but the Lieutenant Governor says they are throwing everything they have into this search, from boat crews to air rescue teams and 500 officers on foot to look for those children. He also stressed if you haven't been personally contacted by the camp, that means your daughter is accounted for. Tonight, he is asking Texans to pray for those girls and for the families who are waiting. Officials are also asking people to stay away from these flood zones. This is still very much a dangerous and active rescue operation. Sherman.
All right, Michelle, boy, that is just a horrible situation. And sadly, we know only too well what it is like to see rising waters take over your car, your home, or, God forbid, loved ones. A lot of folks here directly impacted by what's going on.
Yeah, Sherman and Ron, I actually spoke to a man who says that he was in Kerrville right now with a group of friends, and just a really terrifying experience. And that man says he was at an Airbnb in Kerrville, as I mentioned. He was there with a group of 13 friends celebrating a birthday, but they woke up to this. Take a look. This is video that Eric Castro sent me. He says when he and his friends woke up shortly before 7 this morning, they saw the Guadalupe River rushing around their Airbnb. They were on the second story of the house, and you can see the water getting just inches away from the balcony railing there. Castro says the cars they drove up to Kerrville were either submerged or swept away. They called 911 and were told that rescue crews would try to send boats, but that they were being inundated, as you can imagine, with requests. Luckily, the property owners from across the street saw them and helped them get to safety.
It was a very scary situation. We were literally surrounded by the entire river. We looked out the front door and water was at the level of the stairs. We looked out the back porch and the water was visible. It was the whole river. The entire house was surrounded by water. Fortunately, the water had receded enough to where we were able to walk through waist deep water. But we didn't know that. We didn't know how deep the water was. So they are the ones that gauged the depth of the water for us.
Yeah, it just shows you how grateful that group of friends is to those folks there. Castro tells me that all of his friends and the 5 dogs that were with them all made it out safely, but a truly terrifying morning for some of them. And some of them right now are getting rides to San Antonio to try and get some rental cars so they can come back to Houston. Other people in that group of friends are actually still staying with those people that rescued them. So really, again, just showing how great it is to have that community support out there.
So it's just crazy. I mean, I can't imagine how it felt to be in that. And he was one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, thank goodness that they are okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to you later. Thank you so much, Orko. We'll be tracking all the latest developments on the air and, of course, on our website, khou.com.